America derailed, the day of judgment. On May 12, 2015, an Amtrak Northeast Regional train bound for New York City derailed and crashed on the Northeast Corridor in the Port Richmond neighborhood of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Breaking news, you're looking at pictures now. Those pictures are from our affiliate KYW in Philadelphia. An Amtrak train has crashed tonight.
So that camera captured in the dark at about 9:23 and 40 seconds, captured the train flying by. And that is the moment of impact. That is when the derailment happened, when those 7 cars ended up coming off the track. Some of them went topsy-turvy. Some of them fell over on their sides. A couple of them are just leaning very, very far to the right. And one of them looks like it has just been broken open. It just mangled metal.
When we take a deeper look at this reported accident, there are many clues which lead a rational thinking person to believe that this is another Illuminati satanic ritual event. Notice the number 601 on the front of the train. Strong's Concordance G601 is apocalypto, from the word apocalypse, a reference to Judgment Day. It should be noted that the Amtrak train was number 188. The train had 238 passengers on board plus 5 crew members, which when we add these numbers together, 2 plus 3 plus 8 plus 5, we get the number 18. The crash occurred on 5/12/2015, which is a mirror image. 5/12 is mirrored by 2015 when the 0 is removed. When we add these numbers, 5 plus 1 plus 2, we get the number 8. And when we add 2 plus 1 plus 5, we again arrive at the number 8, giving us 88. Therefore, by performing simple addition with the numbers associated with this event, we come up with the numbers 18 or 88, a reference to the name Adolf Hitler. And 88 was used by the Nazis for the salute, Heil Hitler. Amtrak train number 188 also consisted of 7 passenger cars. I will explain the significance of this number in a moment, but first, let's look at the names involved in this event. The accident occurred in Philadelphia. When we break down the meaning of the name Philadelphia, another strange connection is revealed. Philadelphia is made up of the words Philos and Delphi. Philos means to have a strong affinity or love for another. The definition of love is also a feeling of devotion and adoration toward God or a god. Delphi is the name of an archaeological site, which is where the temple at Delphi was erected. The temple at Delphi served as the sanctuary for the worship of the god Apollo. Apollo is connected with this site by his epithet Delphinios, or the Delphinian. Interestingly enough, most of the victims of this crash received treatment at Temple University Hospital.
Well, health reporter Stephanie Stahl just got an update from doctors at Temple University Hospital where they confirmed, as you've heard, a 6th person has died.
She joins us now live outside the hospital with the rest of those new details. Stephanie?
From Temple, we learned just now that there are currently 25 people hospitalized here. It was called a level 4 mass casualty trauma alert, which meant basically all hands on deck here at the hospital. Level 1 trauma center, the closest to that derailment. So the most critically injured victims from this train derailment were brought here to Temple University Hospital.
The temple at Delphi had the statement, "Know thyself," one of the Delphic maxims, carved into it. The maxims were attributed to Apollo and given through the oracle and or the 7 sages of Greece. The 7 sages of the temple are represented in the 7 cars of Amtrak number 188. The 7 sages were known for their wisdom and laconic brevity. They would use very few words, but those words would be full of meaning and substance. This leads us to the name Amtrak. The name Amtrak is a portmanteau of the words America and track. The Amtrak train's derailment is a perfect example of a statement putting to use laconic brevity. It is a warning of the coming derailment, misfortune, and eventual destruction of America. Robert Gildersleeve, the VP of Ecolab, died in the Amtrak derailment, which occurred at 9:23 p.m. on May 12th. Remember the number 923 because we will come back to it later. Ecolab is an American global provider of water, hygiene, and energy technologies. I must mention one more thing in reference to Ecolab Incorporated, and as we continue, you will understand its significance. This company is headquartered in St. Paul, Minnesota, which is also known as one of the Twin Cities. May 17th, 2015, Waco, Texas. 9 people are killed and at least 18 more wounded in a biker gang shootout at Twin Peaks restaurant.
News out of Waco, Texas, where there has been a shooting, we're told, between biker gangs. There are at least 9 people reported dead.
Close to 200 members of rival biker gangs broke out in a deadly fight Sunday. First fists, chains, a club, and knives, escalating into a fierce gun battle in Waco, Texas, at a Twin Peaks restaurant. As many as 5 criminal motorcycle gangs started fighting over a parking issue, according to police. You can see some of the group's names, like the Cossacks, on the back of their jackets.
Notice one of the gangs is called the Cossacks, and another is called Scimitars. When we investigate both of these names, we get a clear indication of what is actually being presented through this event. Cossacks are an East Slavic people located in Ukraine and Russia. Why is this important? Interestingly enough, the origins of the first Cossacks, according to the 1710 Constitution of Philip Orlik, claim that they were of Khazar origin. It should be noted that the core of Ashkenazi Jewry emerged from Khazars. The geographic location of the Ashkenaz, based on references in the Torah, is centered around southern Russia. Some historians claim that the name Ashkenaz applies exclusively to German Jews. However, more recent evidence shows that they had immigrated from the southern regions of Russia and Western Asia and Asia Minor. That region is clearly identified as the location and origin of the ancient Khazars. The mention of the Cossacks was a reference to the false Khazarian Ashkenazi Jews, which control the economic system of the world, and those Europeans who now inhabit the land of Israel. It should also be noted that the Amtrak accident and the biker incident occurred just days before or after the 67th anniversary of the United Nations decree which made Israel and its Ashkenazi, Rothschild, Illuminati-funded settlements a legitimate state on May 14, 1948.
The resolution of the DAC Committee for Palestine was adopted by 33 votes, 13 against, 10 abstentions.
Another name associated with the biker gang brawl was scimitar. A scimitar is a curved sword used for warfare and for beheadings. The scimitar was used by the Abbasid Caliphate, which was the third caliphate to succeed the Prophet Muhammad. They were descended from Muhammad's youngest uncle, whose name was Abbas. This was a reference to Mahmoud Abbas, the leader of the Palestinians. Keep this reference in mind because we will revisit it later. The biker gang brawl occurred in Texas. The name Texas means ally or friend. This event was a reference to a peace agreement between the Khazars and the Palestinians. The mention of Twin Cities is a reference to the Twin Cities found in Ezekiel 38 and 39, Gog and Magog, and it points to the invasion of the land of Israel by Russia to the north. There's also a meaning for the mentioning of Twin Peaks. In the scriptures, Moses ascended to the peak of a mountain to become closer to God. When Moses returned, he had been enlightened or illuminated, which caused his face to shine in brightness. This is found in Exodus 34, verse 35. The mention of Twin Peaks in this story is a reference to the illumination of both the beast which rises from the sea, or Antichrist, and the beast which rises from the earth, who is the false prophet. Both men will act as vessels or twin peaks that will be illuminated by the same demonic spirit, the power of the dragon. See Revelation 13:2 and 12. Also, both men inhabit twin cities. We will also revisit this later. September 23rd, 2012, or 9/23. Madonna performs her MDNA tour in Washington, D.C. as a precursor of what is to come. Remember, the Amtrak train crashed at 9:23. Madonna opened the concert with a song called Girl Gone Wild, beginning with a Jewish priest singing Psalm 91. This was a depiction of the high priest entering the temple behind the veil into the Holy of Holies to make atonement for the people. Madonna's reenactment of this practice on 9/23, September 23rd, 2012, was a foreshadowing of what is to occur this year, September 23rd, 2015, the Day of Atonement or Judgment Day. September 23rd, 2015, the Pope, who is the false prophet and high priest of the Whore of Babylon found in Vatican City, will meet Barack Obama, the Antichrist, in Washington, D.C., the capital of America, which is also the Whore of Babylon, connecting both men to twin cities.
Pope Francis, he's coming to Washington. While he's there, he'll pay a visit to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
It should also be noted that the Pope plans to visit Philadelphia during this visit as well. This is a reference to the high priest entering the temple. The meeting between the beast and the false prophet will occur on the Day of Atonement, the day the high priest of Jerusalem would enter the Holy of Holies in the center of the temple. In this meeting, the Pope, who is the false prophet, acts as a counterfeit high priest, entering into the unholy of unholies, the Oval Office, to meet with Obama, the Antichrist and false god. Remember, I told you we would revisit the use of the Scimitars biker gang and their connection to Abbas. May 16th, 2015, Pope Francis praised Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas as an angel of peace. We know that Messiah has already accomplished our atonement by the blood he shed on the cross. This can be found in Hebrews 9:25 through 28. The day of judgment is fast approaching, not the day that man has attempted to set up by his own devices and at the prompting of Satan, but the true day of judgment, when Yah will pour out his fierce wrath upon a rebellious world. Have you accepted the true and living God as your personal Lord and Savior? If not, I urge you to do so now. The day of judgment is coming for America and the entire world. Shalom.